Today, let's go over the Star Wars franchise when it comes to Luke Skywalker and how he originally was supposed to be in The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, we got a far different Luke Skywalker than we all expected, where he's essentially, and has essentially, abandoned the entire galaxy and the whole concept of the Jedi Order. But I wanted to go over the original concepts of the Jedi Master, Luke Skywalker, all from Art of the Last Jedi, which goes over all the different ideas of what was to come in the actual movie that didn't make the final cut of the actual film. So, one of which has all to do with his appearance, his interactions with Rey, etc. So, originally, Luke's appearance was very monk-like, being bald and not so much like the Luke that we got in the film. He even had a scene in which he was near a campfire by Rey and Chewbacca. Originally, Rey found Luke's X-Wing in a cave and examined it. Now, let me stop right here for a second because this is the most interesting piece. If Rey actually got to have a moment with Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, they really could have done a whole lot of things with that. They could have had Rey, of course, for example, finding Luke's original green lightsaber. Maybe Luke submerged it with the X-Wing in order to essentially abandon it all. That's just one idea right then and there. Luke would have also had Rey lifting large boulders inside of the Jedi Temple. Luke would also watch over Rey walking into a temple pool, as opposed to the cave scene that we got in The Last Jedi. So there was a similar idea in the, whole entire filmmaking process and the concept process of Star Wars The Last Jedi, in which instead of Rey actually going into the cave where, there's water and everything, there was also a sequence in which there was a concept of the temple pool where Rey walks into it and Luke Skywalker is essentially watching her go into the temple pool. Now, what was the actual temple pool? I have no idea, but that's actually left open for discussion. When Luke destroys the hut, he has his staff in his hand, already ready to defend himself against Rey. So in the final version of the movie, we see that, Luke destroys the hut, it gets, completely obliterated, there's no staff in his hand, and he turns his back on Rey. He walks away, and then that's when he gets pinned down by Rey by her staff, and that's when the fight begins. Now, moving forward, there are even concepts of Luke with his green lightsaber, and a moment in Rey's training in which she points the ignited blue lightsaber at Luke in daylight. A Sith ghost once visited Luke in a cave while meditating. Alright, now that to me is the most interesting piece. The whole entire concept of Luke being approached by a Sith ghost while he's meditating in a cave, whether or not that was a vision or if a Sith ghost was actually going to become a thing in the sequel trilogy, you got me. Now, moving on forward from this, alright, Luke and Rey also had a moment to look at the binary sunset of Ahch-To outside of a window of the first Jedi Temple. And Luke even once appeared in a vision in front of Rey, next to Kylo Ren. Luke and Kylo both had ignited lightsabers, both blue and red, in front of Rey. And this was a scene that was actually supposed to take place if the concept moved further, where Rey is essentially in the cave, seeing a vision of Luke with a blue ignited lightsaber, and Kylo Ren with a red ignited lightsaber, and she would confront the both of them. That would have been really cool if you guys ask me, and would have been a more true parallel to that of The Empire Strikes Back, while also making it very different. You see what I'm saying? I think that this would have worked excellently. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, because I think that the original concepts of Luke Skywalker, the original Luke in The Art of the Last Jedi, that could have very well made it in the final version of the movie, I feel like that there are many aspects of it that are just so much better than what we got in the final version of the movie. Again, we do know that Mark Hamill is back as Luke Skywalker in Episode 9, whether or not this will be in the form of a Force Ghost or flashback sequences, or heck, if J.J. Abrams actually comes up with the idea of bringing Luke Skywalker back to life. I think that would make a lot of fans around the world very, very happy and look back at the other movies in a different way. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.